jungle. The pitch, as ever, in immaculate condition. It is fast, it is firm. The ball will be whizzing off this surface. Terry, I can't wait for this to get going.
There's no excuses about the conditions. It's perfect, like you're saying. The referee, Ben Thaler, would like to keep this game flowing. And Leeds Rhinos, well, I think they've got a point to prove to their fans, to Super League fans. Massive 2 weeks for them. In the context of the season, tonight they're playing against a Cas side. Next week they're playing against Hull KR. All eyes on Louis and Martin, see what they can do. Can they influence the Rhinos and get them from near the bottom of the table towards that mid-table? But this Cas side, no Jake Truman, who's going to be the controlling factor in that side? Aston, Rankin, Matautia, the team that don't play it safe.
There is Jordan Rankin, ready to get us underway then, on a sunlit evening in West Yorkshire, and Leeds Rhinos get the first touch. Looking at their Leeds record here at the Menderhose Jungle, not a good one in recent years. Their last win was on Good Friday in 2015, their treble-winning season. Oh my, how things have changed. Now the preoccupation is avoiding relegation, and how vital a win would be here tonight.
Bill, he was good last week. Trent Merrin given the captaincy by Richard Agar, led from the front, and I think Adam Cuthbertson, number 8, just playing the ball there. He's had his best game of the year. The forwards will need to stand up.
Here is Merrin. It's a pretty impressive Leeds pack. Siu Manafanai back, Brad Dwyer, Cuthbertson, Ferris, Sutcliffe and Merrin. The starting pack. Myler launches that kick skywards. Rankin watches it bounce. McMeekin was able to grab it before any Leeds players could get near it.
You could see straight away, even those long shadows, John Rankin couldn't see that ball. Goes up in the air, he pulls out, but normally very safe under that when the ball goes up in the air.
Greg Eden and Castleford showing their hand early on. Here is Chase Blair taking the pass and dragged towards touch, but managing to stay in the field of play. Aston's pass, the ball batted down, and Leeds offside.
Richie Myler's the man who's penalised. You can see that he stood there, his first man. As they go to pass the ball, he goes around, he tries to make a play for it.
He's just standing at the side of the play, the ball when the ball's played. Just didn't quite get square.
So that's an early penalty for the Castleford Tigers, and an early opportunity for them. Here is Daniel Smith, a former Leeds Rhinos junior. Now Corey Aston. And they shift it towards this left-hand side with Minikin, and Minikin about 10 metres out now. Matautia, Liam Watts winds up for a charge towards the Leeds Rhinos post, but 3 there for the Rhinos to stop his progress. 3 big guys there to stop Watts' progress. Pass, not a good one. The ball is kept alive by Matautia, playing ducks and drakes with the Leeds defenders. Jesse Seni-Lafeo trying to find a way through, and almost doing so. Wrestled down just short of the try line. 4 tackles gone. Here is Milner. Milner is held up just short of the line. Leeds wrestling ferociously to stop his progress. So on the last, little grubber kick comes in. Looks like it's too strong. It is. No, the ball's kept alive, and it's with Jack Walker.
Yeah, well, Mike McMeekin it was who pats it back and keeps it in the field of play, looking for one of his teammates. It was good play, wasn't it, from McMeekin? Some aggressive defence here, look at this.
Oh, he's offloaded it here. We see the chance to tap it back in goal. Brilliant play to try and keep it alive, but just while that was taking place, Castleford penalised again. The official, Mr. Thaler, said that the ball was stolen, but I could have sworn it was an offload. An attempted offload by Leeds there. A little bit of luck for the Rhinos.
Leeds get the penalty, there you go.
Well, it looks like Phil's right. He has lost the ball going backwards.
Leeds got the penalty. It relieved the pressure on them. Here is Adam Cuthbertson. Had a great game last time out. and keeping his place in the starting lineup, which hasn't always been the case this season. Louis takes the pass from Dwyer, and chunky character Robert Louis. Not only has he got good skill, but he's a sizable presence as well. Cuthbertson, Myler, short pass. Good defence from the Castleford Tigers.
Myler Meekin body in front or what?
Great shot to stop the progress of Brett Ferris, but Leeds come again. Here's Conrad Hurrell. Hanley's pass. Myler wondering what the best option is. Still wondering, and then flicks the ball away, but Meekin has knocked it on. 6 to go. And Leeds could profit here. Leeds could profit as Louis pops the ball out. But Eden has got it. Eden is away. Greg Eden, they won't catch him. And he will go in for another try. His 14th of the season. Leeds trying the long ball. Eden read it. And Greg Eden back in the side after 2 out. Has he got the try? Ben Thaler reckons so. What do you want to check, Stuart?
I think there was a knock-on up there.
He wants to check there was a knock-on under the post, and I'm sure it was a knock-on by
Meekin.
Meekin under the post.
When they go down, it's an offload that goes on the floor. You can see he jumps for it. He knocks the ball on the goes forward. And that's where Leeds Rhinos were looking at the referee, asking him, is it back to one? Is it back to one? Well, the ball comes out. It's a swipe from Meekin.
Just to explain to you, it's kicked into his hand here. Does that matter?
No, he's playing at the ball. So he's playing at the ball and he's gone forward.
Greg Eden has gone virtually the length of the field for surely the first try of the game, but Robert Hicks is the video ref. And what does he reckon to that? We haven't seen the grounding, and it is no try.
Well, they do apply pressure through the defence. Darryl Powell's men. The Meekin looking at getting to Richie Myler. Makes a swipe at the ball. The ball comes out. Then as he's going down to get on the ball, he knocks the ball forward again. And you could see the Leeds Rhinos players looking at the referee, asking him to waive the tackle count.
And there was no advantage after that. Even though Leeds were back in possession, they didn't get any advantage. So the referees brought it back down for the scrum.
Off the hook there, Leeds Rhinos. Robert Louis trying to find his winger over on this right-hand side. As if he needs any reminding, Greg Eden will go for those plays. It doesn't matter whether it's 30-70 against, he's going to go for them. And Robert Louis, just put that in their memory bank. Don't throw long passes on that side.
So Leeds breathe a sigh of relief, and Robert Louis has it again. This time it's a short pass, and they're going to use strength this time to try and barge their way over. Siu Manafanai held up just short. Myler, Louis puts the brakes on. Still going, Robert Louis. He's about 8 metres out. Down the short side, Dwyer, then a quick change of direction from Dwyer. Almost stretching out the hero of the Leeds win against the Castleford Tigers earlier in the season with that unlikely drop goal. Brad Dwyer, he couldn't score, and neither can Adam Cuthbertson.
Terrific defence from Castleford Tigers. First of all, Dan Smith stopping the hooker Brad Dwyer, and then on the next go at the line, a collection of Castleford Tigers players aren't bothered about keeping the ball up. It's preventing the player from putting it down, and then they get possession back.
Yeah, Dwyer's kick ricocheting, and it was Corey Aston who was quick to react.
Well, let's see what the Rhinos attitudes like to defend down here. This is where they'll want to be. This is where they can compete against the likes of Liam Watts.
Oh, great offload from Watts. Jesse Senan-Lafeo, and here goes Matautia now.
They look in the mood, don't they? They were sharp last week. They had that cutting edge.
We often talk when we come here about the strength of the bench from Castleford Tigers. You sometimes feel that Darryl Powell picks his bench first. He puts some of his best players on the bench. Paul McShane was on the bench last week, as he is this week. He will inject himself after about 20-25 minutes into the game.
Meekin doing well, and gets the pass away to Chase Blair, but this time the Leeds defence is equal to the challenge. Chase Blair making his 9th consecutive appearance. Aston gets the kick away into the hands of Walker. Surprising to see Jack Walker in action.
It's amazing to think that, like Barry said in the studio, he was in a boot early on this week. He's certainly a live wire of the side.
Here's another live wire, Tom Briscoe. Cuthbertson just over the halfway line. St Helens 6-0 up already against Hull FC. Merrin, short pass, Siu Manafanai, but Watts there to greet him. And Corey Aston bravely. Louis now. Conrad Hurrell will try and use his considerable presence, but Chase Blair makes the tackle. Richard Agar looking on, concern on his face, and Jesse Senilafeo rises to claim that ball, but is then bundled over the try line.
Well, good support for the man who's kicking the ball. I want to say that. You know, when you kick that ball, your chasers have got to be on song. Robert Louis looks to drop the ball near the sticks. Richie Myler, Adam Cuthbertson. And again, I think I started off this game where he left off last week. Adam Cuthbertson, he's running hard. He's getting through the line. He's doing an awful lot of work in defence.
And that is a facet of the game that Leeds couldn't get right. They couldn't build pressure. The goal line dropout that they're afforded here now, second set of possession, was something they failed to do.
Well, they're keeping the pressure up. They're keeping the Castleford Tigers on the back foot. Here is Trent Merrin, newly appointed Rhinos captain, with Callum Watkins leaving the club. Forwards cry the Castleford Tigers supporters. And Ben Thaler, well, he's going to award the head and feet to the Leeds Rhinos.
Well, the referee's saying that that ball was stripped from Robert Louis when he goes at the line. Corey Aston comes in, he wedges in, he sees the threat out the back from that pass from Richie Myler, comes in to slow him down and has a little play for it. Well, this is what you call pressure for the Rhinos. They need to pour some points though, don't they?
Adam Milner just hobbling to take his place at the scrum. So head and feet to the Leeds Rhinos. They had a goal line dropout, and now they've got a scrum close to the line, and Adam Cuthbertson has taken them closer still, right under those posts. Dwyer, Robert Louis, Jesse Senilafeo right up in his face.
Well, he's certainly a marked man, isn't he, Robert Louis?
With Sutcliffe now. Sutcliffe can't make any progress. Here is Louis again. Merrin sweeps the ball on nicely to Myler. Walker gets the pass away. And James Clare it is who picks it up. Clare in a foot race, and back they come. Great work from Ash Hanley to make the tackle. But the Castleford Tigers rolling forward. Leeds have got back into some sort of defensive shape now.
Well, again, pressing on the line, looking for that final pass. And the second interception that they've thrown in the opening 10.5 minutes.
So the Castleford Tigers off the hook after all that pressure. Second intercept from Leeds. Here's Corey Aston. Aston gets the pass away. It's Jordan Rankin. Rankin about 12 metres out. Aston. Here is Daniel Smith. Matautia, Jesse Senilafeo shapes to pass it one-handed, tries the hand off, but Harry Newman does well to stick to his task. Here is Matautia, little grubber kick from Matautia. Walker well placed.
Well positioned at the back, and Harry Newman as well did a decent job defending. That line here, he is now trying to bring the ball away. A lot of questions being asked by Castleford whenever they get near Leeds' line. That's a big carry. That's a big carry from Liam Sutcliffe.
Leeds playing towards the railway end, and another invitation from the Leeds Rhinos to the Castleford Tigers to go on the attack. And Mike McMeekin says, thank you, I'll have that.
Well, Tom Briscoe trying to do some hard work. Tries a really ambitious pass, and it hits the deck. Cass in good field position here.
Well, can they profit on this occasion? Eden has had one disallowed. Clare was caught, but Meakin couldn't get away there. They've got the penalty of the Castleford Tigers.
Too long from Brett Ferris then, just laying all top of Castleford. Castleford, that field position that they've got, they've earned it cheaply. Look at this, Tom Briscoe, not used to passing, looking at threading Richie Myler through the hole, but he just couldn't get through.
So this game's swinging from end to end, and here is Nathan Massey now, Mr. Dependable for the Castleford Tigers. Referee says, get up. Jesse Seni-Lafeo trying to spin his way over the line, but Leeds, they know what Jesse Seni-Lafeo can do. So the Castleford Tigers go across the field, hurl up very quickly. The ball reaches Clare. Clare aiming for the corner, aiming for the line, but good defence from the Rhinos just to stop him short of that try line. Aston. Here is Daniel Smith. Smith for Watts. Watts, lovely pass, but Massey was tackled without the ball, I think.
Liam Watts, first of all, when they went from left to right with a wonderful pass, must have been 12 metres the front rower, manages to pass it, tries around the corner, around the back, offload to Nathan Massey, and Robert Louis, in the view of the referee, makes that tackle. Skill set high and pressure building again for Leeds Rhinos.
No thought of going for the 2 points there, despite the fact he was right under the sticks there, keeping the hammer down. But Corey Aston losing his footing, but Meakin screaming out instructions. Not a great pass, and Massey had to just stretch to retrieve the ball. Milner. Smith. Daniel Smith, his brother Cameron on the bench for the Leeds Rhinos tonight. Milner's pass. Matautia. Little grubber kick from Matautia. The ball is still not grounded. It is now by Briscoe.
Well, they've certainly turned in the pressure, aren't they, Darryl Powell's men?
What a fantastic opening 14 minutes here. Brilliant, end-to-end, intense. The crowd, the atmosphere enjoying it. They're getting involved. Some wonderful skill, too, by the forwards there for the Tigers. With Watts trying to offload it behind the man.
What's exciting about this Cass side is every player offers themselves. They put pressure on the defenders. You look to try and get your spacings right. You look at the movement in the attacking line from Cass. So hard to defend against. You've got a man like that. There's a lot of minutes. Good skill set as well as good go forward.
It has been, as Phil said, a furious opening 14 minutes here. Plenty of incident. No points.
Didn't expect anything else, though, did we? Two sides here that desperate for the win, really.
Daniel Smith keeps it alive, finds Milner. Milner, little burst through the middle, and still going, gets away from the first tackle, then loses possession. Play on, says the referee, and it's with Corey Aston, and he will get the first try of the game. Oh, Willie, he's just short. He's just short. Leeds all over the place defensively, including offside.
Well, they look really eager here, the Rhinos. They are under pressure. They are fighting.
Well, they're lucky here not to have a player sent to Simon in a situation like this. For a penalty in that manner.
Mate, I want you to have a word of your boys.
He's called over Trent Merrin.
Except before I rolled it, I've just had a word of Ava here as well. Leaving the hands in and not coming out where we need to be. Coming out when I'm calling it, mate. Come on. Back here.
Quick word from Trent Merrin to his team. There's how close he was. So back they come again. Daniel Smith stopped in his tracks by Cuthbertson's tackle.
Go.
Milner. Matautia. Leeds defending strongly here under pressure. Watts will try. He'll fling the pass away. The scramble is on and Massey manages to pick it up. Nathan Massey edging his way towards the try line. Milner's pass. Jesse Seni-Lafeo and Louis uproots him. They go again. Held up once more. Milner it was.
He goes for glory belt. He thinks he's going on a win. He's going on a quick play of the ball. He spots Robert Louis. Is he in position? Goes at him. Stands strong though.
Bit of depth to this attack. McMeekin looking to get the pass away. Does so. And the ball comes loose, batted down, says Ben. Oh, more pressure on the Rhinos' defence.
Well, it was an offload, wasn't it, from Mike McMeekin? And Leeds Rhinos, in a desperate attempt to grab hold of this ball, seems as if they've been defending for 3 or 4 minutes. The referee says the ball was knocked on. Cas Tigers again will get another look at the line.
Leeds had thought they'd got through this set, and this was the last tackle. Leeds Rhinos, if they tackle Mike McMeekin, they get the ball back, and then it's an important, crucial next few sets to gain that valuable field position. But again, they're fighting for their lives here on the line.
Look on Adam Cuthbertson's face, it was his hand as McMeekin tried to pass the ball away. This must be really taxing for the players. It's a warm evening, the pace has been relentless, and they'll get a bit of respite there because Jordan Rankin has put the ball down, and they'll come and form the scrum.
And the Leeds Rhinos players, they'll even take the knock-on from Tom Briscoe just to regroup, just be nice and control, walk into the scrum, suck in the big ones. And Jordan Rankin trying to come up with the play, what he was going to do to Harry Newman, where he was going to fix him to set his winger free. And all that pressure, Darryl Powell and Ryan Sheridan know that they've maybe missed an opportunity then.
I wonder what is going through the mind of Rhys Martin, sat on the bench, never having experienced anything like this. But during those international matches of Papua New Guinea, with the atmosphere they have over there, he hasn't experienced this kind of venom and intensity from the sideline and the terraces. Penalty given away by Cass.
So Leeds must be feeling pretty good about life, having withstood that battering from their hosts.
Well, Ben, you take a lot of confidence from defending your try line like that, but it's how much energy it takes out of you.
Merrin's pass to Cuthbertson. Castleford Tigers just stopped there, and Cuthbertson looked around and said, all right, I'm off.
Well, it's not so much energy out of Cuthbertson.
Dwyer's pass. Louis now. Louis drifting across the field. Myler wrapped up. Richard Agar pensively looking on. They're using the big guns again. They're using Cuthbertson. His offload, Merrin's try. Trent Merrin, the captain, leading from the front for the Leeds Rhinos, and getting his 4th try of the season. And Adam Cuthbertson, who has been in outstanding form in the last few games, instrumental, not just with that pass, but in the build-up to that.
In the game, he was Leeds' best last week, Adam Cuthbertson. He's one of Leeds' best now, and I said before, Trent Merrin, he gets the captain's armband. But what about this for the break? He double-checks himself, thinks, is anybody with me? No, I'll get down, I'll play it. A couple of players later, he gets the ball back again, and Leeds Rhinos just flooding forward. And this is what you want. Trent Merrin supplies the pass to Cuthbertson, stays alert, knowing that he can get that offload. And Trent Merrin's one of those players that he leads by example. Sometimes when you're given the captain's armband, it's not what you say, it's your actions. Well, that action says it all.
Well, that is a glorious 1-2. Trent Merrin starts it all with a nice little tip-on pass to Cuthbertson. When you see forwards passing to forwards on the front foot, breaking the line, it's something that we see Castleford do week in, week out. And that was a good passage of play by the Rhinos.
Sutcliffe in front of the post. 2 points for Leeds, 2 points for him for 500 in Super League for Liam Sutcliffe. And Trent Merrin celebrating his 250th career appearance with this try.
And they celebrated it in style. What was significant for me, the body language of the Leeds team. They've worked hard in defence, but all 13 players made an effort to get there to celebrate here together. That looked like a try to win the game. It meant so much to them to score first here. Take the lead, 6-0 up.
He got a try against the Castleford Tigers in March in the Rhinos' 21-20 win. And now he's got one here at the Menderhose Jungle to break the deadlock. Sutcliffe converting. And Trent Merrin really has come on. When you think there was all that speculation about whether he would be remaining with the club, and there were lots of, as ever with the Leeds Rhinos, there's always lots of speculation, but Trent Merrin really has answered it on the pitch, hasn't he?
And there was criticism as well, but there wasn't criticism from up here.
Here goes Walker. Sorry, Barry.
Terry and I knew what he would bring to the side. It's up to his teammates and him to forge that relationship, and it looks like it's blossoming.
Walker very nearly bursting clear. That's the 5th tackle. It reaches Myler, so Myler dinks it across field. Handley was trying to get there, but the Castleford Tigers, through James Clare, tidy up.
Well, the other side of the game now for Leeds Rhinos, they need to make sure that they are disciplined, nice and square with the referee. See Jordan Rankin looking to get in between a couple of the bigger defenders, working hard, looking for some decent line speed, but just sitting back then, waiting for Greg Minikin.
Minikin just moving over the halfway line. Here goes Greg Eden. Back in the side, Eden. After 2 games out, there's NRL action tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. on Sky Sports Arena with the Newcastle Knights against the New Zealand Warriors. Oh, dear me, and Hanley has put that ball down.
And Bill Castleford have made an important substitution, as we predicted. Paul McShane on, 20 minutes on the clock as we see the spill from Ash Hanley under pressure, and the high kick put in by Cas Tigers. Paul McShane, we know, he's a smart operator, a schemer, a trickster. Oh, he'll make this defence second guess what's going to happen.
Once a Leeds player, Paul McShane made 63 appearances for the club.
We're there, not yet, not yet. Bang, come on.
Now he's
Time is off.
a big favourite with the Castleford Tigers, to the extent that he was chosen as the Tigers Player of the Year last year.
You did hear me. Stay on. Okay, now get in.
So the Tigers head and feed at this scrum. Grant Millington is out there as well. Darryl Powell ringing the changes. It has been a ferocious opening quarter of this game. Massey doing what he does best, just keeping it simple, getting the side going forward again. McShane's pass, Matautia, Rankin trying to skip away from Newman's challenge, but the youngster, 19 years of age, remember, Harry Newman, sticking to his guns. Darryl Powell up high, not far away from us, looking down as his side attack again. Millington, Merrin with the tackle. McShane's short pass. Massey once more, but again, great defence on the line from the Leeds Rhinos. See you, Manafanai and Merrin there. McShane sweeps the pass out. Little kick out wide and claimed by Hanley.
You know, that's the sort of reaction you want to see. The man who dropped the ball, again, it's kicked to him, and then just that little tap back into the field with his left hand, and regathers it.
The Conrad Hurrell.
He's impressive, isn't he, every time he gets the ball. Could have been a penalty then. Miami making a little second effort on him.
Carney-esque play, not Brian Carney, Justin Carney. Favourite at this ground once upon a time, Justin Carney. Well, Conrad Hurrell's got the same sort of approach. Here's Myler. Ferris, oh, that's a pass to nobody.
Bit of panic. So we saw Tom Briscoe, who did it before. Look at this. That's how you create a hole in a defensive line. You just run as hard as you can.
We saw last week, when we replayed the tries from last week, Conrad Hurrell in space. Lovely pass from Robert Louis over on that left side, and he was able to score a good try. That's a pass to nobody. Ferris wanting to find Hurrell. Hurrell just put in that 20-metre bursting run. Wasn't quite as keen to collect that pass.
So the Castleford Tigers looking to level the scores, but Matautia has lost it. Ben Thaler just peering round the bodies there to see what had happened, gets a call from the sideline, and Leeds get head and feed.
Well, when you think Leeds Rhinos, they could be out, they could be tired, they need a bit of a lift. Castleford all of a sudden just gift them the ball back. The majority of the game has been played down there Leeds' line. They've been doing a lot of hard work. Seems to be as though they've been retreating. There's been a lot of questions asked, but they've been coming up with the answers, though.
Leeds going into this game on the back of a good win against the Catalan Dragons, 31-12 last Sunday. Can they build on that? Can they edge their way up the table. They've seen the Huddersfield Giants do it last night against the Salford Red Devils, which has given Huddersfield a bit of breathing space. Not very much. It's so tight down at that bottom of the table. Leeds one of 3 sides on 14 points. Hull KR in action tonight against the Wigan Warriors. Here is Trent Merrin, scorer of the only try in the first half so far. That's the 5th tackle. Myler gets the pass away. Little grubber kick. Hanley is chasing, and it's picked up by Conrad Hurrell, and Hurrell claims the try. How did that ball end up in the hands of the Leeds Rhinos centre? No try is the view of Ben Thaler.
He's offside and within the 10.
Well, it's a clever kick, isn't it, from the Leeds Rhinos? They go the short side, last play. At the line, Richie Myler gives it on to Brett Ferris, who drops it onto his boot.
And Conrad Hurrell is in front of him.
Yeah.
He's gone through as a foil runner.
So Hurrell's within 10 metres of the receive of the kick from the initial kick. So therefore, all things after that are off. He's offside, so this will be disallowed.
Yeah, no.
So the on-field decision will be confirmed here.
Ash Hanley did well to flick that ball up and keep it alive, but the man who was trying to cash in on it was offside, as we've heard, and confirmed by Robert Hicks. Not in the mood to give much away tonight, the video ref, Robert Hicks.
Back on.
No, well, Leeds Rhinos would have loved that try then, but obviously Conrad Hurrell, the man who was stood in an offside position. The percentage plays for both of these sides could be really, really important. And again, look at that strong defence on Mike McMeekan.
Determination from Trent Merrin and Brett Ferris there to drive a man who has been in great form, certainly was last week against the London Broncos, Mike McMeekan, but he was going nowhere.
A phenomenal player every time he carries the ball, and he's always tough to deal with. Same as this man, Grant Millington.
Yeah, but he ran into Trent Merrin as well. Let's see what Liam Watts can do. He's brought down. It's the tackle from James Donaldson. Millington keeps it alive. Matautia has his hand up on the left-hand side. Gets the pass away to Minikin. Minikin, his feet slip from underneath him. About 20 metres out. Matautia launches this one across the field. The ball still in the hands of the Castleford Tigers. So Rankin puts a kick in, and Hanley puts the brakes on, tries to get out of trouble, can't do so.
Well, tries absolutely everything, doesn't he?
Almost, wasn't it, for Ash Hanley? It was a lovely kick, wasn't it? Jordan Rankin to find his sat-nav, find where forward was. There's a bit of a let-off there for Castleford Tigers. High kick over to that right side, and when Jordan Rankin gets this ball, moves sideways, kicks the ball into the big space behind Ash Hanley. Well, he has a go, doesn't it? There's just 4 cast defenders in front of him.
Shot clock off. Back on.
So another goal line dropout into the hands of Corey Aston. Now into the hands of Liam Watts, who will be 29 on Monday. Another player here at the club to have agreed a new deal.
And right in his prime there at 29, 28 to 32, front rowers are right at the peak of their powers, as this man is now.
Here is Rankin now. They do have the numbers, they don't have the passing accuracy.
Well, Ash Hanley, the man who couldn't get back in the field of play, he chooses to come in on Chase Blurt. He knows that if his centre, Conrad Hurrell, goes in, he's got to do and mirror that same sort of tackle. And the message is coming down straight away from Darryl Powell. Not happy with the mistakes that we're making. Near leads his line. The good ball area of the field, like coaches like to call it.
That's where world-class centres stand out, isn't it? Names like Jamie Lyon, players like that you remember from coming from Australia. The real quality ones can catch and pass. Put the winger in for the try there.
Castleford Tigers 4th in the table going into this game. They can close the gap on Hull FC with a victory here tonight. Last we saw, Hull were trailing at home to St Helens. But it's Leeds who are ahead here, coming up to the half-hour mark. And coming up to the halfway line. Here is Brett Ferris. Wants the Castleford Tigers player, Ferris.
Ready, mate, 4. Go.
Now, Conrad Hurrell.
5, move, Paul!
That's the 5th tackle. Players over on this side with their hands up. Newman is one of them, but the kick not great from Robert Louis.
Poor kick, like you said. 7 players now. They've got Jordan Rankin. Greg Eden offering himself, then hoping that he'd see him. Just over on his left shoulder.
Here's James Clare, the other winger. There's a player down. It's Trent Merrin.
Did he get a finger in the eye here, Trent Merrin? He went down really quickly. Whilst carting the ball up and still moving, making metres after contact, James Clare.
It's
Robert
player,
Louis.
I think. Yeah.
Robert Louis.
Robert Louis.
Yeah, nasty. Oh no.
Oh no, it's still his own player.
Everyone's having a go. So I've gone through James Clare, Robert Louis and
Harry Newman.
The guilty one is Harry Newman. Good spot, Barry, lad.
Who's it? With friends like that, who needs the opposition?
It's been a tough old game, this, hasn't it? Robert Louis, I said before, Mark Mann, everyone looking at him as though he's going to change the fortunes of the Leeds Rhinos and come in and really help them.
I don't think he's changed one thing that's the most significant thing. Leeds' ability to keep their opponents scoreless for almost half an hour. Castleford have lots of chances to attack the line. They've got a lot of very good attacking players. As Marion just gets a full eye assessment here from the doctor.
I think that comes down to desire and work ethic, that, Phil. No matter how many times you're broken, you get back, you help your teammate. Trent Merrin now takes his position in the defensive line. They'll need him.
But there is a cause and effect, Phil. If you don't put a decent kick in, you don't hand the ball over on your terms, and you're constantly in deficit in your energy, and Leeds in this game have kicked well. They put pressure at the back end of the sets, and it's Cast Tigers now. They're behind on the scoreboard, but they're behind in the game itself as well.
Matt Cook is on the field. He's been a bench player for the last 7 games and has contributed a lot in those games. Here is Millington. Over 200 Castleford Tigers appearances from the Australian forward. Liam Watts, Corey Aston, Rankin keeping the ball alive. Here is Chase Blair. Blair, a strong figure in the middle of the field. Talking about the middle of the field, there's a player down at the moment.
Well,
Liam Watts just down.
The last couple of minutes he hasn't been happy.
He made a great pass here just before. This is what set Castleford up here, involved in the chain of passes from the play the ball. To run straight at his size, turn and pass the body accurately. I'm not sure whether there was a Leeds player involved in a tackle or whether he's just injured himself somehow. Is that foul play?
Well, you could say that the contact was late. Yeah, the pass is gone. Contact was late. But again, I don't think it warrants anything more than a penalty on field, and the video referee won't come in unless it warrants a sin bin or a dismissal.
It may have damaged his shoulders. He landed in an awkward position, Barry.
I think, again, going back to when that ball was kicked out in backfield there, he had to get back on side quickly for Rankin to tap that ball, so he hasn't been happy for a couple of minutes. Whether it's his shoulder, his back, his neck, or his ear.
Well, he's going off for a head test anyway. Been signal from the doctor and the physio.
And I think he just had a look towards the Leeds defence and maybe just conveyed the message, I'll be back.
Yeah, there'll be a square up. It'll be pressure.
Don't worry.
That was your best impression, was it, Bill?
It's been a while. Is he still around?
Yes.
Another former Leeds player, Chris Clarkson's now on the field.
Kick crossfield from Corey Aston. Jesse Senilafeo trying to go for it, but claimed instead by the Rhinos by Harry Newman.
And good play as well from the youngster. He steps back a couple of metres so he can come onto that ball and leap higher than a cast defender. Certainly likes to get his hands on the ball. He's there again, Newman.
He's earned his place in the side as young Harry Newman. He's been in the centres for the last 12 games. So he really has come on leaps and bounds since breaking into the side. Half an hour of this game gone. 5th tackle. Louis puts the kick in. And it's straight into the arms of Jordan Rankin.
Well, the big 10-minute turn-off for both sides as both teams have done an awful lot of work, especially those middle men who've not been rotated by the coaches. What's the half-backs from either side? Who they're going to pinpoint, who they're going to try and target. There's again more speedsters come in, like Sir Greg Eden.
Cook. There's some ferocious tackling going on. That ball is kept alive. McMeekin gets away from Hanley. He's waving the ball around in one hand and gets it to Chase Blair in the end.
Standing skill there. They've kept the ball alive. 3 or 4 players. Brilliant play. 4
tackles gone. And Castleford sweeping the ball from right to left with Minikin. But again, Leeds in good defensive shape. That's the 5th tackle. McShane.
Oh, he's clever, isn't he? He knows that Harry Newman's offside. So the markers aren't set. He spots it. He goes down the short side, not for anything other than getting a penalty.
This is McShane's skill level. Penalty to the Castleford Tigers. Jesse Seni-Lefeo, danger man. Looking to level the scores with half-time approaching. Chris Clarkson right under that crossbar. The ball batted out. And it's Myler who profits.
Great defence from Richie Myler to fly off the line then.
Do you know what's amazing here? The Castleford Tigers have had almost half of the play the balls inside Leeds 20 metre zone. Over 30 chances, you'd say. Good chances to attack the line and score. And yet Leeds have kept them out. I've never seen a team have that sort of field position and still have nothing on the scoreboard.
Here's Brad Singleton. James Donaldson. The Castleford Tigers supporters getting frustrated.
You've just got to give that pass an extra yard. That, as you say, the Cas fans will be screaming for forward pass all night.
Sutcliffe. That's the 5th tackle. Louis knows what's on the clock and just finds a touch.
Good decision from Robert Louis. Turns round, applauds his teammates. You can see the line speed here from Leeds Rhinos. It's Richie Myler who gets up, puts pressure on Corey Aston. And there you go, end of set. Hand the ball over on your terms, walk to the scrum. Leeds Rhinos with 33 minutes are riding this game. But you feel, don't you, Cas Tigers have got the class, they've got the skill, so the Rhinos have got to stop handing over and giving them opportunities.
Shot clock off, heads in ball! Out!
So head and feet to the Castleford Tigers, just looking to see if there's a shot clock running anywhere.
Win it, Brad.
Oh, far side. They had their eye on the clock, did Leeds, because there's 6 minutes to go until half-time. Here is Millington. Singleton. With the tackle, Sutcliffe there as well. Jesse Seni-Lefeo. Sutcliffe once more. Throwing his body into the challenge. Here is Matautia now. Matautia to Minikin. Good work from Briscoe and Harry Newman on that occasion. Here is Matautia once more. Kicks ahead and chases himself. And Briscoe goes down bravely where the boots are flying.
Well, did ever so well and same Jack Walker. Then there was some flying attention from Matt Cook. They get the penalty. They fell off the tackle. They go back on. Then it just helps the Leeds Rhinos, because I tell you what, some of those Leeds Rhinos players are looking around to think, look, we have been under the pump here. Who's going to put the hand up here and carry the ball? Just that little push from Peter Matautia. That's all it takes, and the referee not having any of it. Ben Thaler.
Frustrating first 35 minutes. The Castleford Tigers, and as you can probably hear from their supporters, here is See you Manafanai.
Well, I think everyone's looking at Leeds' form saying, well, Leeds Rhinos aren't in that good a form, really. But you look at last week's win for Cass versus London, that's only the third in the last 10 League and Cup games. So they've not been in any great shape themselves, the Cass Tigers.
And yet they're pressing for a top 5 finish. It just shows how really tight that table is. And some sides, one week they're thinking, oh, a top 5 finish, then the next they're looking over their shoulders.
Thinking of nearly in the relegation battle.
Exactly. That's the 5th tackle for the Leeds Rhinos. And Myler is going to go for 1 point. And fizzes that one underneath the bar. Well, didn't even get...
Well, the idea was right.
He should have left that to the hero from back in March. Shouldn't he, Brad Dwyer?
That was his first ever. Brad Dwyer, the one that won the game against the Castleford Tigers. What are the chances of him repeating that? Dave Furness certainly didn't think he had any chance. No, he was saying...
They screamed yes.
Yes. Here goes Rankin now. Rankin, good weaving run from the player with Scottish ancestry. Millington.
4, move over! Ready, boys, 4.
3 minutes until the break. What would Darryl Powell and the Castleford Tigers give for
5, move
points before half-time? That's the 5th tackle. They haven't cracked this Leeds defence yet. Metaltia going for the power play. And he is held up.
Great work from Siu Manafanai. Played big minutes in this game. It's important when you're a big man and you've got a smaller, more agile player in front of you that you hold your nerve, you do your job, and you do your job really well. And he stood up strong and made that tackle.
Hasn't had a break, has he?
No, I don't think so. And he's put in a good shift as well. Looks fitter now. Coming to terms and getting up to speed. Did he drop that ball, Briscoe? Yes. A lot of Leeds players around the winger trying to console him. But with half-time looming, just over 2 minutes left until half-time, those Cass fans will be hoping the Tigers can get in front.
Well, Paul McShane, a little hand in there then, just help that ball out.
Well, that's twice he's took advantage of the rules, isn't it?
Devious.
Okay, let's bang, guys.
Schemer. Trickster.
So head and feed to the Castleford Tigers. Last couple of minutes of the first 40 here in the Menderhose jungle. They trail. McMeekin has picked up a knock. Closer still. The Tigers edge their way forwards. Corey Aston, Chase Blair looking to break his duck since coming to the club. And that's another penalty.
Yeah, the ball just spews out straight away. The contact's made, the tackle's finished, then all of a sudden the ball just shoots out of the tackle. And obviously the referee sees that, awards the penalty.
Surely the Castleford Tigers are going to make this pressure tell. Can Leeds withstand it? The hooter could be their hope of maintaining their lead. Here is Matt Cook. They stop his progress. McShane wagging the finger, directing operations. A little kick from Corey Aston. Aston's put too much on it. And it's a Leeds player who's made that ball dead.
That's unbelievable. You know, that's the 40th play of the ball that the Tigers have had inside Leeds' 20-metre area, down at this end of the field. That's half of the possession where your teams score most of the tries. Leeds' effort here, you can see it's completely drained them, but it's about patience too when your opponents for the Tigers here, not to become frustrated. Hasn't been any signs of that from Castleford so far. We've got one more set here now, maybe 4 tackles perhaps, to find the first 4 points.
Come on, Jack! Shot clock off!
The clock
Back up.
just showing 5 seconds as Millington gets that goal line dropout and rides that first challenge. And how
Donaldson it is. Flings himself into every tackle, James Donaldson.
30 seconds under before the hooter sounds for half-time. There is Donaldson once more in the thick of it for the Leeds Rhinos. Aston's pass. And it's knocked on, and Leeds
They'll
celebrate.
Yeah, Richard Agar will tear that. You can see he's happy with that. The way that they have defended under pressure, more or less throughout this first half. And Chase Blurt, he thought he was just going through as the dummy runner, didn't expect it.
It hits him on the chest, doesn't it? Bounces off his chest.
And that is it for the first 40 minutes. This is only the third time this season that Leeds have kept their opposition to nil at half-time, and on all three occasions they went on to win those games. They've kept the Castleford Tigers pointless in this first half, and they've done it with some courageous defence. The chances have been since 2015, and they've shown great resilience to frustrate Darryl Powell and the Castleford Tigers so far. The second half underway, and I wonder what the Castleford Tigers will have to offer. Well, already Leeds have shown a bit of ingenuity and almost came up with the ball from the restart.
Well, they're certainly going to take it to opponents here. It was fascinating how much defensive work Leeds did in that first half, and the fact that Coach Agar chose just to keep 15 players in the action. 2 subs, Cameron Smith and Reece Martin, haven't been on the field yet in the first 40. I'm sure we'll see them at some point in this second half.
Siu Manafanai has been out there all the way, the big former Cronulla forward. McShane. Watts is back on. Gets the pass back to McShane. And Minikin, little skip, takes him past the first challenge, but Newman comes back to make the tackle, which was the 5th. Matautia lobs this one high into the sky. Walker collects, but it comes down.
Well, Jordan Rankin
for Briscoe.
Yeah, Jordan Rankin, he challenged, didn't he, young Jack Walker at the back. He comes up with it, but then unfortunately loses the ball. And Leeds Rhinos in that first half, I'm sure they were happy to hear that half-time hooter. 7-3 penalties against, made more mistakes than Cast Tigers defending the line, yet still went into the break 6 points in front.
Early in the second half, as Conrad Hurrell takes the ball forward for the Leeds Rhinos. Let's get a chance to hear the half-time news from Angela Powers.
Well, according to the Leeds coach, Richard Agar, they're really pleased with their defence so far. They've kept their energy in that position, but the challenge this time is to keep the Tigers in the end of the pitch where they can't do any damage and not give the ball away. And a couple of interception options that they've given to the Castleford Tigers. A good game, and they know what they need to do now, Leeds, to stay on the winning side here and keep in the lead. Now, in terms of Darryl Powell and the Castleford Tigers, too many errors in attacking positions. They've seen Leeds defend really well and put them under pressure, but they want to he wants to see his Cast team not put the ball down in attacking positions on the first play in particular. Need to tweak that attack, kick a bit better and keep completing.
Well, they'll get the ball back, will the Tigers, after Leeds got to the kick and didn't make a very good fist of it.
Well, Castleford didn't want to catch the ball, neither did Leeds want to catch the ball. And all of a sudden the youngster, Harry Newman, was caught in possession on the last play.
There's another pass hitting the ground. McMeekin trying to bump off the challengers, but Dwyer sticks to the task. Donaldson in there as well, not the biggest of members of this Leeds Rhinos side.
He's full on though, isn't he? His momentum going forward, he just backs himself in collision.
That looked like McShane's pass to Millington went forward, but Millington's not hanging around, but he's hanging around without the ball.
Well, again, it's just letting the Rhinos off the hook, isn't it? Really good run from Grant Millington to get behind the play of the ball.
Castleford Tigers could pay a heavy price for this.
Richie Myler just snatches at the ball, Bill. Doesn't get involved with a battle of strength and a wrestle, just simply takes the ball out of the hands of big Grant Millington.
Here is Tom Briscoe, and Briscoe bursting through the middle, and Briscoe has got support from Walker, and Walker has got the legs, has he? He has, under the posts. And Jack Walker, who was in a boot for an ankle injury before this game, was a doubt for the Rhinos. There's no doubt about his fitness now with that try, his 7th of the season. And Leeds caught the Castleford Tigers cold there, right through the middle of the field. Briscoe gets the plaudits.
Well, look at the smile on his face. Jack Walker. Here's where Richie Myler steals the ball away from Millington. And from that set of possession, back behind the block hole, the back of the ruck, Briscoe finds a pass, winger to fullback, and it's right under the H's for Leeds Rhinos. Good stuff, flooding support, and it's a simple assessment of the situation from the winger Tom Briscoe. And Jack Walker, well, he gets the second try of the game to the delight of Richard Agar.
Jack Walker is 7th of the season. He's now got tries in his last 3 games as the 19-year-old fullback.
Well, you talk about him being a fullback. Fullbacks do more running than any other position, probably 5 or 6 miles, which might not sound a lot in 80 minutes, but it's the accelerations, the decelerations, the kick goes over 2 more points. And the important thing with Jack Walker is his game awareness. To be in the right place at the right time. You get very few chances to win here at Castleford. They are a good side, the Tigers. They won't give that many opportunities. He has a break by his teammates, and he put himself into the position there to make sure they've got 6 more points on the scoreboard.
Such frustration for the Castleford Tigers because that stemmed from them not retaining possession.
From making errors, and say they're just letting Leeds Rhinos off the hook. But what a good run from Tom Briscoe. The awareness to get through the line. Brad Singleton looking to get through the line, but couldn't get through that tackle from Liam Watts.
Watts probably intent on making up for their collision in the first half that saw the Castleford Tigers prop have to leave the field.
Yeah, his name was in his little black book, wasn't it?
And there could be more to come. Conrad Hurrell with the ball for the Leeds Rhinos. Dwyer, here is Siu Manafanai into Castleford territory, and Leeds building in confidence now. Louis' little grubber kick, they're all herring after it, and they very nearly got it.
Well, kicking on the front foot then, you go down the short side. Harry Newman tries to tap the ball forward, couldn't bring it back in, and again it looks like there's an awful lot of energy, but too much from the referee. A high shot they penalised for. Harry Newman tries to tap that ball around Jordan Rankin.
Although they come up with a
swinging arm from Brad Singleton.
Although they come up with a penalty at the back end of that set, again kicking, putting their opponents under pressure, handing that ball over under a pressure situation is what Leeds haven't been able to do so far consistently in 2019. And Robert Louis, he's added that for the Rhinos.
Castleford Tigers trailing 12-0 at home against the Leeds Rhinos, who are 10th in the Super League table going into this game. But certainly playing with a lot more determination, a lot more organisation in recent weeks. Millington, he just manages to keep a hold of that ball. Chase Blair, that's the 5th tackle, about 5 metres out. The ball reaches Corey Aston. No Jake Truman, of course, for this Castleford Tigers side. The kick, though, well, that's great work.
That's enormous. How does the youngster get back into the field of play? We're seeing Reece Martin now just walking up
with a little help from his friends. That's what
waiting to come onto the field.
With a little help from his friends, that's how he gets back into the field of play. Catches that ball and his teammates push him forward. But we looked at this before the game, didn't we? Cast Tigers hunting the mistake, restricting the metres made, so that Leeds Rhinos will have to kick from deep.
Reece Martin is on the field then for his debut, and just 1 training session for the PNG International ahead of this game. Still getting to know his new teammates, as is Robert Louis, in fact.
Well, he'll know his job playing in the forwards. Carry hard, tackle hard, clean up anything that's around you. Just keep offering yourself to your halves. There he is, involved in that tackle on Grant Millington.
3, move back! Ready by 3.
Castleford Tigers 40 metres out. Here is Watts. Short pass from Watts to Cook.
Ready, Brad?
4 tackles gone this set. Watts once more. Somehow manages to get the pass away, but Leeds in good defensive shape. Holding their line well. And Rankin is brought down. So Corey Aston lobs the kick high. Hurrell has gone for it. And there's a shove off the ball.
It's Richie Myler who just impedes the Castleford player who's going for the ball. Ben Fairley.
He does
doing a very good impression of what Richie Myler did. Look at him here. He spots him, he checks him. It's James Clare, the man he's took out.
So a chance for the Castleford Tigers, a chance.
One move in the line.
For Cook. So close. Jesse Seni-Lefea, what great defence from Robert Louis down low. But the pressure's still coming. The pressure's still coming on the Leeds line. But again, they hold firm and Matautia is denied.
He's come up with some decent second efforts in this game, Robert Louis. The post pad has fell down on Leeds' line.
Touch judge is back on. Or he's on to try and remedy the situation.
Even the post pads are tired. It's been that draining. Even the post pads has fallen down. Even they want to rest.
Did it fall down, or did a Leeds player or a Leeds fan pull it down?
Could it be a yellow card, Stuart?
I don't know, but what I do know is Mark Craven has never put a post pad on in his life.
But that's the most skew-whiff post pad I think I've ever seen.
Back on, tackle 3.
Well, that couldn't that be important? Here comes McMeekin now. McMeekin trying to straighten things up.
Maybe the match review panel might take a look at it in a week.
That was pushing forward.
McShane's pass. Matt Cook once more. That's the 5th tackle. Leeds on their own try line. Determined defence from the Rhinos. Corey Aston's pass. Rankin's little kick. Too strong, and Leeds withstand the pressure.
You've got to say that Leeds Rhinos are not jumping the gun. They're holding, they're waiting. They're letting Cass just make the plays in front of them. You can see that Conrad Hurrell does enough. He doesn't jam in. He knows that he's got control from his winger in Ash Hanley.
Briscoe again probing.
You see, they've brought on a new player, Leeds, haven't they? Cameron Smith, to try and give Brett Dwyer a rest for a few minutes or so.
Go, play on.
Straight up the middle they come. Newman. Chase Blair stops his progress. There is Cameron Smith. There is Myler. There is Liam Sutcliffe. Wigan going to town against Hull Kingston Rovers. And Liam Marshall has got a hat-trick for the Warriors in that game. So Hull Kingston Rovers in big trouble at the foot of the table. And Rhys Martin is burst through. Almost found a way to the line, did the new recruits. Cameron Smith, I think it is.
Held up, boys.
Held up.
5th and last. Come me down, come me down.
He is. So Leeds keeping Castleford where Richard Agar said they wanted them. Up the end of the field where they can't do so much damage. That's not a great kick. And Corey Aston is able to gather.
I've got to keep this cast side second guessing.
Release Conrad.
And Leeds Rhinos with Myler, Louis, Jack Walker.
Go trap him in, Corey.
Certainly have been impressive in today's game.
Move it, Jay. Go.
Chase Blair.
Just where's this steel come from with Leeds? We've watched so many of the games. They've been good at patches, but never with the consistency for 50-plus minutes here. Defensively to make it hard for the opponents, competing so hard.
We saw signs of it, though, at St Helens, didn't we? When they lost against Saints, but their commitment was there in that game.
I agree, Bill. There was a 10 or 15-minute period in that game where effectively St Helens had won the game, and then from that point he defended really well, defended really strong, and this kid's been outstanding tonight.
And don't forget, they nilled Wakefield at Wakefield the other week, didn't they? And they get a penalty again, which just helps them, frustrates this Castleford side. They've had the field position, they've had the possession.
Time's off.
The high shot from Matautia on Jack Walker.
Huddersfield, Hull, Kingston Rovers and Wakefield, I think it was, that Leeds have nilled. At half-time, Ian Proctor confirms, and they went on to win all of those games.
Well, they're certainly looking good spirits here, don't they? I think it's been a big team effort like you would expect from if you've been under so much pressure and you're defending your line, the scramble's been good. Every time they've been broken. Good carry, Singleton.
Singleton stepping out of the tackle, leaving Millington behind, and then gets the penalty to the Leeds Rhinos.
You go for 2 points here, wouldn't you? You go for 2 points. A really strong carry from Brad Singleton. He goes through. He knocks Paul McShane out of the way. Then he comes in for the second effort.
In line with Grant, guys, please.
Who is going to kick it?
Liam Sutcliffe.
Well, Liam Sutcliffe last week, did he kick 5 from 5?
Yeah, he's got the job. There's a pretty decent deputy in the new recruit, Reece Martin. Liam Sutcliffe, he'll step forward. As Reece Martin got a full box of tricks. Almost scored a try in his first touch. The new recruit, back rower from Canterbury Bulldogs. And it is interesting, isn't it, when teams bring players in from outside the organisation, what do they bring? Well, they don't bring those residual memories, those we're going to lose here. They'll turn up to a game excited. Richard Agart, Kevin Sinfield,
Ryan
Cart, head coach of the Featherstone Rovers club just down the road, but he's not seen a crowd this vociferous and loud. And I'm not saying that Featherstone don't get a crowd, Bill. We've been there on many a good game.
They get a loud crowd,
but there's a different intensity in a Leeds Castleford derby.
Well, this crowd, the Castleford one, are hoping that this clock stops pretty soon, because every second ticking away makes it get even harder. We're expecting him to kick this to take it to a 14-point lead, and having not scored in 55 minutes, they're going to have to score on 3 occasions here to win
Liam
this.
Sutcliffe is in good goal-kicking form, but Reece Martin kicked 36 from 38 last year. Phenomenal.
It's not a bad strike rate, that, is it? It'd be difficult taking it off this man who, I said before, didn't miss last week.
So this penalty attempt from Sutcliffe, bang on target. And Leeds extend their advantage.
Just gives them that breathing space now, doesn't it? Richard Agart, his side started well last week. They scored 3 tries in the opening 17 minutes against Catalan. They were quick out of the blocks. They've got to finish this game well as well.
Time is off.
Hull Kingston Rovers getting a hammering at Wigan, and they face the Leeds Rhinos next time up. See you, Manafanai. Still
out there. Big minutes and a high work rate as well. They've needed somebody in that pack. Oh,
Martin has lost the ball, and the referee, as it's picked up, Martin McShane says play on.
I thought Adam Milner was in there. Very aggressive, Adam Milner. And did he strip that ball?
Oh, it's a penalty to Leeds. To the Castleford Tigers, I beg your pardon.
Well, Adam Milner was involved in the tackle when Leeds lost the ball. And now Cass surely will just tap this ball and get it underway quickly. Look at this. Oh, loose carry really for Martin. He was involved though, Milner.
They were anxious in the first half, the Castleford Tigers fans. They're getting frustrated now. But can their side find a way through this Leeds defence, which has been so resilient? And Cameron Smith.
Oh, he's injured here. It looked like he was injured then, Matautia.
Matautia gingerly gets to his feet and just hobbling a little bit after that tackle. Right in front of the post, and that's another penalty for the Castleford Tigers.
See you, Manafanai, as he's just trying to turn Smith onto his back, he holds onto the ball, trying to twist him over. Then there's a little bobble of the ball. Moves straight in front of the referee, Ben Thaler.
The same in the first half, right? Where I had to pull the captain out and have a word, then we tidied it all up. Like the next time I pull somebody out, what we put him out of the circle warning bricks, we need to get into. No, mate, that's the police deal though. Right there.
So the pressure building on the Leeds defence. Another penalty, back-to-back penalties. Penalty, try is the mantra.
Come on, Ava!
Can Leeds profit on this occasion? McShane's pass to Rankin.
Yeah, wrong option, wasn't it? Wrong option at the line. Again, the Leeds players go in, they're celebrating. And there's good play from Brett Ferris as well. At the play of the ball, he's pointing the Leeds Rhinos players to push over to the left-hand side. He's saying, look, we're covered on the right-hand side. Richie Milett getting up quick on Mike McMeekan. He goes at the line, makes a play, drops the ball.
It's a no-look pass, isn't it, from Corey Aston. The timing of the run, he's a little bit too early, Mike McMeekan. So it allows Richie Milett to get a hand to it, to disrupt it. And Conrad Hurrell now is trying to get Leeds Rhinos downfield.
Hurrell, the man who leads the Rhinos chart as far as tackle busts goes. But Leeds not making as much progress on this set. Here's Siu Manafanai, still running strongly.
He's been really good, hasn't he? Defensively, his go forward as well, getting over the advantage line easily. And Brett Ferris now.
Approaching the hour mark. The Leeds Rhinos leading 14 points to 0. Just over the halfway line.
5. Movement, Mike! Go.
As Singleton plays the ball and Myler finds the corner of the field and a touch.
Keep it simple, do the basics well, run hard, make sure that you keep hold of that possession. When you've been under pressure near your line, you've had some back-to-back sets, and then Richie Milett just steps forward and knocks the ball off the field.
And I will say this, he is a player that has been under pressure because he's taken control and charge of the back end of set for Leeds Rhinos, and he's consistently done that, nudged it over the sideline. Teams have preempted it, they're ready for it, they're putting kick pressure on him. But because they've got Robert Louis as another option now, Leeds Rhinos, opposing teams aren't able to second guess, and it just keeps them, keeps those questions right at the front mind. Cast Tigers again off the back of a penalty, hands in at the play of the ball, and a team warning for Leeds Rhinos.
12-5, isn't it? Sorry, Barry, it's about 12-5, I think, roughly the penalty count. Generally in rugby league, they end up quite even at the end of most matches, but sooner or later, I mean, he's warned the team, Brett Ferris, before. Now this is a physical warning where he waves his arm around. That looks to me like a second warning. Is it third time that somebody's off?
Well, no, that's a team warning now. That means that the next one, in a short space of time, somebody will be going to the sin bin.
Chase Blair slips under the challenge. Nathan Massey back out there for the Castleford Tigers, who have a quarter of this game left to try and turn the tables on their near neighbours, the Leeds Rhinos. Rankin.
3.
Ferris in to make the tackle. Siu Manafanai in there, and Reece Martin, the new recruit. Milner's pass. Corey Aston. Chase Blair. Blair over the top. They do find a way through. Rather, they find a way round, and it's James Clare who is on the end of that. A lovely pass from Chase Blair to set up James Clare for his 7th try of the season. Back-to-back tries for him. He got a try against the London Broncos last week. He has set the Castleford Tigers maybe on the comeback trail in this game.
We'll see you, Manafanai, the man who was penalised. Look at that attacking shape, so many options. And they had the numbers, the defensive line, but the ball from Chase Blair in his 9th appearance in a Tigers shirt.
Is it forward, Terry?
I think it looks okay. It seems to be okay to me.
I think he passes it backwards and it comes off the
shoulder of Ash Hanley.
That's right.
I think when it leaves his hands, it's going backwards. It hits Ash Hanley.
Difficult conversion this from the sidelines for Tautier, and he's pushed it across the face of the posts. Castleford 4, Leeds 14.
Do you know what? As soon as the pass from the play ball in this try was set, everything in motion, really. Everybody was running. It was in front of the man. They could all attack the ball. The defenders then immediately under pressure, and it's a great finish. We've seen Castleford before. Once they score once, very often they can back it up. Back-to-back tries is what they need now to get the fans back involved.
So Leeds have their defence breached for the first time tonight. And Reece Martin resumes.
Kicked it too far.
Oh, wow.
That's how well he can boot a ball.
That's back-to-back errors. It's not big in goals.
He's not played on this ground either before, is it? It's a 90-metre pitch, not a 100-metre one.
So would it be wise to give him the responsibility?
Well, he doesn't have to keep it in the field when he's kicking off, kicking for goal, but kicking off, he's got to understand how unique every ground that he's going to play at is.
Just a lapse from the Rhinos there. And the penalty immediately sees them retreating and the Castleford Tigers pressing.
The Leeds are keeping Cass in the game, aren't they? They're giving him opportunities, they're giving him chances.
Massey doing well. McShane's pass. Rankin onto Matautia, but great work from Harry Newman. Shot out the line. Matautia has got some sort of problem.
Well, he was injured over on the right-hand side, was he? Now it looks like he's got cramp. Which again, along with the post pad falling off the post, it helps the Rhinos.
And at half-time, we saw the PDRL side, Leeds Rhinos and Castleford Tigers had a match at half-time, and within a minute of starting that game, one of the Rhinos PDRL players went down with cramp, but the Rhinos took the victory. Is that a sign of things to come? Marvellous to see so many players of all abilities able to play this great game of ours. And thankfully, Peter Matautia, he's okay to carry on.
So the Castleford Tigers fullback plays the ball, having been restored, and it's with Nathan Massey now. Massey about 10 metres or so out. Little run around with Milner. Chase Blair gets the pass away and Clare gets a second. And that is what the Castleford Tigers can do to you when the passes flow and click and they're sticking all of a sudden. And 2 tries for James Clare in the space of 2 minutes. And Darryl Powell animated.
Back-to-back tries for Castleford Tigers. The kick-off from Reece Martin, too strong. And from that possession, Castleford Tigers in good field position. There it is. Almost into the stand at the back, behind the posts. Beautiful flowing play. A short run around. And Corey Aston, when he straightens up, he creates a little bit of space out the back for Rankin. And as we saw last week, Rankin good enough to take advantage of that 2v1, and James Clare goes in for his second.
It's the little run around that does the damage. It gets a couple of the Leeds Rhinos players planting the feet, then all of a sudden 3 edge players then decide to come in and try and close it down, which creates the space on the edge for that man, James Clare.
Jordan Rankin has taken over the goal-kicking duties. He's kicked 18 so far this season. And he kicked 5 from 8 against the London Broncos last week, did Rankin. These could be crucial points for the Tigers, which Rankin has landed. They're into double figures. The deficit now only 4 points.
Well, that's one of the heroes, Luke Gale, clapping on here with his family, hoping that his team can come from behind again. The Super League hits a purple patch. More and more games going in the last 5 minutes here with the game still in the balance. And that's what Castleford have done here now. With 15 to go, or just less, I should say. And they're really coming home now with a wet sail. As all of the work they did, all of the pressure that they applied in that first half, attacking Leeds on the line, has it had an impact to the energy tank here now that Leeds have got left?
And Sutcliffe restarting.
Yeah, Liam Sutcliffe steps up and he kicks the ball off, and the last 15 minutes here, what's the Rhinos got left in the tank?
Hindsight's a wonderful thing. If Sutcliffe had taken the last restart, it might have been a different story, but Leeds have got the ball back.
Well, again, I think they could have been penalised there, Bill. I think it was Singleton.
I agree.
Singleton that stripped that ball. It looked
Really
like it.
messy. It's a really messy part of the game, that now.
Wigan have hit 50 against Hull Kingston Rovers, 52-10, and Saints not far behind at Hull FC. Leeds, can they steady the ship here? Halt this Castleford fight back. Sutcliffe plays the ball, bang in front of those posts. Cameron Smith.
Well, picks his brother out, doesn't he, straight away? Dan Smith gets the ball, he veers out towards him. He's involved in the tackle, won't let his little brother get over the try line.
14 minutes of this game to go. Trent Merrin back out there.
Looking for the offload as well, but you see that McShane just holds on to it, clamps hold on that ball. I always think it's a dangerous play, that, looking at Cass. Dragging them over the try line.
4 tackles gone. This set for the Leeds Rhinos. Myler, little dummy from Myler, gets the pass off to Cameron Smith. But the Castleford Tigers saw that one coming. So they come again. Little kick comes in and it's too strong. Ferris was going for it but couldn't get there. And the Castleford Tigers survive.
Well, they looked for the quick tap as well, but because they passed the ball, they had to have a controlled restart. Brett Ferris going for it, the former Castleford Tigers player. Couldn't quite get hold of it, but 7 players they've got now here, Cass, to march Leeds down the other end of the field.
Do you know, we talk about that match. Maybe they should attack from here rather than just make this ground, because they've been close. Here goes Clare.
Clare's really got a send for it now, and James Clare looking for a hat-trick is brought down about 8 metres away from the Leeds line, and the Castleford Tigers hammering at the defence. Watts has lost it.
Richie Myler. Well, if you want someone to come up with a big play, you wouldn't look at Richie Myler and think, right, you get the shot on probably one of the best go-forward players in Super League. But he stood strong, his technique was brilliant then.
And Leeds breathe a massive sigh of relief. There is Liam Watts in the tackle. The clock and the time ebbing away for the Castleford Tigers, who are still 4 points behind. Full time at the DW. Wigan have beaten Hull Kingston Rovers 52-10. Rovers very much in the mire at the foot of the Super League table. Leeds hoping to move clear of that bottom group if they can hold on for victory here. Here is Hanley now. That was forward to Ferris, under the referee's nose. And the former Castleford man, Brett Ferris, frustrated by that decision.
Well, Ash Hanley going across the line, looking for someone to punch through.
It's a knock on, in fact. Is that right, Stuart?
Well, that's what he's ruled, but I think he actually managed to grab it before he touched an opposition player.
And that's what he said to the referee, didn't he? But what the ref saw was him lose possession. Then they thought that it went into the cast play before it touched the ground. Tighten up round the ruck now for Leeds Rhinos. James Clare, the last time he carried the ball, made it look too easy.
McMeekin taking on Sutcliffe and Hanley. Watts. Merrin throwing himself into the tackle for his side. Jesse Senni-Lefeo was the dummy runner. Here is Matautia, seems to be recovered from the cramp. Robert Louis with the tackle. Here is Jesse Senni-Lefeo down that short side. That's the 5th tackle. Needs to be a good kick from Rankin into the corner. Walker is underneath it. Walker claims it. McShane on the follow-up makes the tackle.
Well done, Jack Walker. Under pressure, with players running at him, as we see a little juggle there from Reece Martin. Heck of a kick to deal with. With time ticking down and his side 4 points in front.
Under 10 minutes to go here at the Menderhose Jungle. Castleford Tigers 10, the Leeds Rhinos 14. Nail-biting contest. Edge of the seat atmosphere. And Leeds trying to withstand the challenge from the Castleford Tigers, and Trent Merrin showing them the way. Good work from the Rhinos captain.
You want to kick this ball off the field now, wouldn't you?
Dwyer appealing to the referee for his intervention, but nothing doing, and they will counter now, and Eden throws the ball, and Chase Blair has lost it. Oh, what a schmozzle.
Well, that's Greg Eden for you, isn't it? If that ball goes to Handy, he thinks his teammate is away. Darryl Powell does not agree. It's Chase Blair who eventually makes the mistake, but what about this? On your own line. Wow, that must be 20 metres in front of your own goalposts.
It was a similar ball that he threw a couple of months ago, which ended up with Darryl Powell walking down across the pitch when he got fined.
I think
not a happy man.
I think I can read his mind there. One letter. Why?
Well, how costly could that be? Because Leeds, with 8 minutes to go, are about 12 metres out and looking for a try that might put this game to bed for them, that might give them their first win on this ground since 2015. Dwyer is wrapped up under those posts. It's with Myler to Robert Louis. Louis, little step, and Robert Louis is the man. On his 200th career appearance, Robert Louis is mobbed by his teammates. Greg Eden can only look on in anguish. And Robert Louis is all smiles. Leeds are all smiles because they are heading for a crucial win here in Castleford.
Well, he was brought in to have a big influence on the side, and he certainly had that. And that Greg Eden pass and the pressure on Blur from Hanley forces the error, and he knew it as soon as he threw it, and out the corner of his eye he sees Hanley. He was wishing it back in, and look at that, the step from Robert Louis, the vision that he has, keeping it nice and simple, knowing that the time's ticking down. So powerful when he steps off that left foot.
Well, that is a beauty of a step by Robert Louis, who's had a huge influence on this game. His control with and without the ball has been massive for Leeds. Great. The more I watch that replay of that pass, Chase Blair does not want no part of that pass. I don't know whether he could have got it or not. He was certainly put under pressure by Greg Eden, but in my view, I think he had enough time to get hold of it. Irrelevant now.
Sutcliffe has missed with that conversion attempt. 10-18, 6 minutes to go. Robert Louis, his last game for the Salford Red Devils was a victory. It was a victory against the Castleford Tigers.
Billy lining up short here. They're going to go short here to Sutcliffe.
Matautia launches that one high, maybe not that short. Watts clobbers Myler. And then words are exchanged on the ground.
Well, it was Richie Myler that put a shot on Liam Watts to the left-hand side of the sticks, which forced an error about 5 minutes ago. They were lining that up. They know that they need the ball back. Just over 5 minutes to go in this game. What has been a tense game.
And it all plays into the hands of Leeds. The clock is still ticking. Myler goes up for the ball. Liam Watts, the physical player that he is, he gets a shirt tug from the little man. Flyweight on heavyweight.
I wonder what he was saying there, Richie Myler. He gripped him and pulled him towards him.
I think he said, I don't appreciate that, Liam.
Do you want a bit?
I don't appreciate that, Liam. Please refrain.
Just listen to me, will you? Right? It's been looked at. So you're going to listen to what I'm going to say. You're not going to say anything. You're going to walk away. But your forearm in his face. End of story. Go over there.
End of story, says Ben Thaler. Oh, and then somebody says something.
Well, that helps the cause, doesn't it, if you're a Rhinos fan?
And Myler nonchalantly thumps that ball into touch. And Leeds are, well, under 5 minutes away from a really important victory.
And it's been a magnificent team performance. There's been lots of players who played well, but they've dug in deep, they've turned up for one another. And on instance like that, when you see a forward passing a forward, Trent Merrin can't do that unless he's pushed up and he's got support as he is from Cameron Smith.
Cameron Smith has lost that ball. The Castleford Tigers will get head and feet. But it's too late for them. That Robert Louis try, his first for the Rhinos.
There you go.
Helmet Shane again.
I'm sick of seeing them. I am. I really am. We need to do something about that.
Yours sincerely, Mr. Angry.
From Oldham.
What movement! Jordan, let him get off you. Don't
Jordan Rankin plays the ball.
movement!
And Reece Martin, well, shortish debut for him, but what a memorable night it'll be for the PNG International, because this will be a victory for Leeds that will be well celebrated. Corey Aston with a little burst of pace. And Daniel Smith, Liam Watts puts the brakes on, gets the pass away. Trent Merrin in there to make the tackle. He really has delivered a captain's innings. McMeekin, the ball clutched in one hand, but he runs into Conrad Hurrell. That, for me, sums up the Leeds' effort tonight.
They're hungry. They're coming from everywhere. When the line's broken, there's a Leeds teammate who is getting back not to let the next man down. You keep that chain tight and you're only as strong as your weakest link. And people will talk about defence and it's about attitude. Well, it is about attitude. Sometimes the structures and how you defend, it goes out the window. When you're broken, you've been under pressure. More or less from the moment this ball was kicked off in the first half. Leeds Rhinos have had to do it really tough.
The Aussies have a term for it, don't they? They call it teamship, and you can see how much it means to those players. Whenever they celebrate, they're celebrating something positive and they're doing it together.
Tell you what, I mean, this has been, as you have said, all of you, that this is a team performance from Leeds, and you can point to any number of players who've led. Trent Merrin, outstanding, has led from the front. How do you pick a man of the match, assuming it's going to come from the Leeds Rhinos?
Well, the Leeds Rhinos man of the match, because it is a Leeds Rhinos player, is young Jack Walker, because I think he's handled everything, Bill. But you have to give a special mention. Harry Newman over on this side for the way that he's defended. Robert Louis for the influence that he's had. And even Siu Manifanai, the stint that he put in, well, he's not overshadowed by Jack Walker, a real immature head on young shoulders.
And not who you thought you'd be giving a man of the match to, given that he was wearing a support boot at the start of the week because of an ankle injury.
Absolutely. The courage, bravery and commitment to this club and this badge is there for all to see. And the people on the terraces, there has been some unrest at the Rhinos. Beautiful new stadium, and they want a team that plays rugby league in the right manner. Well, we've seen evidence of it tonight. They've come over to Castleford and they've outplayed them.
No wonder they want, or they've got him now on a 5-year deal, Jack Walker, staying with the club. Talented young player, still only 19 years of age. And the Castleford Tigers saw Adam Milner scratching his head there as he went into that ruck, and
what do we have to do?
Exactly, that sort of sums up their night, doesn't it?
What do we have to do? Like, sometimes you put your hand up and you think, right, we've been beaten by a better side tonight.
Here is Liam Watts, as ever competitive. Mike McMeekin, when he was running hot at the start of the game, he thought, right, they're up for this, but the passes haven't stuck. The decisions that some players have made haven't been the wisest ones. I mean, Greg Egan, a case in point.
All it takes is one defensive error or one error with the ball.
Here is Rankin with a little grubber kick, and there is the man of the match sweeping across to pick that ball up and counter. He's only a slight young man, is Jack Walker. There's not a lot of meat on him.
But he gives himself a chance, doesn't he, the way he runs into the tackle?
Yes.
Although he's picked up an injury there. But he doesn't go in half-hearted, which helps him gain that momentum going forward.
It's a pat on the back from his captain. And the crowd counting down. The hooter sounds. Richard Agar, Chev Walker on the Leeds sidelines celebrate. And applause there for Ava Siu Manafanai. And Daryl Powell and Ryan Sheridan frustrated from their point of view. Leeds fans, though, at that railway end of the ground, await to salute their side for what could be a crucial victory. Greg Minikin flat out after that performance. James Clare getting those 2 tries which seemed to offer Castleford a way back, but Leeds had the resilience, and that's what they've shown.